We know how to start a show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Doc, that's me.
That's what?
Oh, just he chat. Yeah, that's me. That's my archive page.
What? I'm not following.
That's okay.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we started out with no sound, but now we have some sound, and so some sound is better than no sound, as far as I know. Depends on the sounds you're hearing, I guess, and whether or not you want to hear them, but that's always a conundrum of sorts, isn't it? So welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Paranormal Portal live stream, and I am Brent Thomas, your host, and I'm joined, of course, by my co-host, Don Longbeard.
Hey, all.
Why are you hiding, brother?
I'm not hiding anything. I just noticed something.
Hopefully you guys can hear us. It's the portal. I don't know. What were you thinking of, Don? What was that?
Oh, that was. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Nope, all's good. I gotta clear out of TFR.
Yeah, please do.
Yep, out of there. Done. TFR's over.
Please get out of the TFR for now, sir. We need you here, Don.
Yeah, there we are. I'm present.
I'm
accounted for.
We're spiking a little bit on the bandwidth. Green, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes green, sometimes yellow, sometimes red. Look at red.
That's just because we have such personalities.
Yeah.
Pixie. Hi, Pixie.
Well, welcome, everybody.
We missed you, Pixie.
And we are thrilled to be back here this week, of course, because last week we weren't able to do the show, and then, everything in the world just happens on the wrong days. And so I had prior engagement I had to take care of, and Don, of course, was busy as well. So we could not do it, but we are here tonight, and thrilled to be here with you, of course, as well. So thanks for being here, and thanks for being understanding and not holding it against us when we can't follow through with our obligations, because it's not for lack of loving you. We do love you. Isn't that right, Don?
Except for Pixie, because she wasn't in TFR on Saturday.
Ooh.
When I had my solo show.
Yeah, Don, thank you, by the way. And that brings up a good point.
Oh.
And I'll mention it on Friday's show as well. But I had the flu or something wrong. I'm not sure what the hell was wrong with me, but I was purging like a drunk sorority girl. I was just a mess. I was just, oh my God, after the show on Friday. And if you listen to the Friday's archive, ladies and gentlemen, you will hear me. It sounds like I'm burping, but actually that's me trying to control my gag reflex as I was doing the show. Not because of the subject matter, but because my stomach was absolutely doing backflips. I was like, oh my God. And I haven't felt like that in a long time. And so it hit me. I got done with the show and went downstairs, stumbled downstairs, and I pretty much fell right asleep until about 2:30 or 3 a.m.
That must be nice.
When I went to the bathroom, and I just literally leaned forward, and that little bit of pressure was like, and it started. And if I'm here to tell you that there are some things on this earth that no human should have to experience, and like projectile vomiting is one of them. It was horrid. I was just, oh my God. And I was like, how could all that stuff have been in my stomach? It was like my stomach just kind of called in sick that day.
It called in absent from your body.
Yeah, it's like you stopped digesting or something. It's just a pile of stomach acid and hopefully well-chewed food.
It doesn't matter. It came out anyhow.
Yeah, either way. Yeah. And let me tell you that Burger King classic chicken sandwiches,
Oh, my goodness.
re-eating them several hours later covered in stomach acid, I don't care if I ever touch a Burger King classic chicken sandwich
God.
again.
Nice.
That was horrible. Horrible.
Oh, boy.
And
Welcome to the Paranormal Portal.
That was paranormal. I'm telling you, whatever came out of me, it was not of this world. It was not of this realm, Don. I'm telling you, and all of you out there listening.
I'm positive you had food poisoning. I'm positive that's what it was. I mean, I know what that feels like, and it was.
Well, it could be. I mean, it could have been. I don't know. I'm not sure if it was just a 24-hour bug or not. But the next day, I felt like a truck had hit me.
That wasn't a bug. That was a demon.
It was. Yeah. It wasn't a bug. It was a swarm. It was killer bees or something. I'm telling you, they were just all over. And the next night, of course, was Saturday.
Oh, he was looking bad when I got here.
Well, thank you, Don.
It's in a caring way.
Thanks, Don. You know how to make me feel so special. No, I didn't feel good either. So I'm sure I looked all kinds of different colors.
So he says, Doc says, I know what happened. Don tried to poison Brent with his ribs over the portal. No, no, I don't need that kind of a bump.
No, it's but Don did take the driver's seat.
I gotta tell you, I don't know how you can do a show by yourself for 2 hours. That was quite the experience.
You did good though.
Thank you.
You know, again, I was downstairs listening to the first part and then kind of fetal position whining for the middle and towards the end, and then I
appreciate that.
I turned it back on for the ending, and you did a good job. I mean, you know, I know you were nervous, and of course, you know, I don't think you had much notice, which didn't help you. Say, hey Don, guess what? You're driving.
You're driving today.
Yeah, but
take the helm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
And he did a good job.
How do you drive this thing?
And everybody, all you guys were so supportive of that. So thanks for understanding, and thanks for supporting Don in his maiden voyage piloting the SS Paranormal. He did a good job, and so thank you, brother.
Leftovers in Don freezer. Don doesn't have leftovers. Don eats all of his food, Pixie. All of it.
Well, there you have it. We got a little insight into the world of Don. But I'm feeling much better, so thanks, y'all. And we have a new webcam, and it looks pretty good, I'm thinking. What do you guys think out there? Are we looking all right? How about this?
John Travolta.
We're just, yeah, doing the Pulp Fiction dance here. Strike a pose.
Stay away from BK. Good advice, Pixie. Good advice.
It is good advice. And you know, I don't mind. I don't eat a lot of fast food. I really don't. It's very rare that I do. But it was one of those days I was in such a hurry on Friday and was so busy and wanted to get back and get ready for the show. And so it was like, you know what, drive-through sounds about right. It did not sound right.
It drove
later.
right through.
Yeah, it didn't drive right through. It did a U-turn and came right back out the entry. It was like, I can't tell you. I mean, my mouth was wide open and it wasn't like there was a gap. It was just coming out. I swear to God, it was like I felt like I was possessed. You know, the whole Exorcist thing. I mean, it's not a joke. My mouth was like a big O.
Big O.
And it was a full stream. There was a lot of pressure. And I'm telling you, not that we need to go on and on about my illness, but since we're on the subject.
Well, Sarah says you're too sexy for the show.
Love you bunches. Thank you. I'll be here all night. But
I'm too sexy for the show. Too sexy for the show.
That's right, Don. You want to get up and do the shadow dance again?
Maybe later.
Maybe later.
Regula's not watching.
Oh, yeah, Regula's not here to catch the silhouette scene.
The silhouette scene.
Well, thank you, Sarah, though. I appreciate that. That's nice to hear. I need more compliments like that. That's good. So anyway, here we are. We're doing our Wednesday stream. We had to make it up to you guys. And what?
Doc. Doc. He's just Doc.
You know, one thing I wish YouTube would do, and it's one thing that Facebook does, is during their streams they God, look at that. Sometimes the freeze frames are horrible.
I know.
What Facebook does is it actually holds on to the chat history, which is really cool.
Right, yeah.
But YouTube, for some reason, just like, screw it, it's done.
Well, it binds up too much memory on their servers, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just text. There's not much smaller than in the computer terms than text, but well, whatever. Anyway, Don.
Yes.
Maybe from time to time copy and paste that.
Oh.
So I can read it all later, because I can't really see it. I can't really see what's going on too often.
You know what? It's already got lost.
Well,
no. Here we go.
Wherever we're at, just every periodically, if you just copy and paste it into a document, that'd be cool. Because then I can read what everybody said later. Especially, I want to keep that compliment from Sarah. I don't.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want that getting lost.
That's the important stuff.
Yeah, I mean, those are the kind of things you want to remember. Ooh, we're at all red. Oh, there goes orange. Good. I don't know.
It's charisma.
It's family. My wife is home, and she's perhaps streaming about 5 things. I don't know what's going on down there.
FaceTime in 5 different windows.
Yeah. She's having a board meeting down there or something. But no, I'm just kidding. It's yeah. There's no board meeting, ladies and gentlemen. We're not that important. But there is a paranormal portal. And so tonight what we're going to do is just kind of a paranormal potpourri. And we're just going to see what kind of mayhem we can get into here. And
there's a lot of mayhem we can get into.
There always is, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So, Don, just as long as we're kind of still near that topic, how did you feel doing the portal? I mean, did you like it?
Yeah, I did. It was there were nerves at the beginning there because I've never been at the home of the Paranormal Portal.
Oh,
so
yeah, I understand.
it was a little bit of a nervous thing going on there, but I can definitely do this. I missed you Saturday, Brent.
I missed doing it.
Like I said, I don't know how you can do this Friday show by yourself. I don't know how you did the Friday and Saturday show by yourself. It's like, we talked afterwards. It's like, yeah, I just had to, after, the first 15 minutes or so, it was like, I just had to remember, stop and breathe. I have to make this information last.
It's true. You really
For
do.
2 hours.
You know what it is, though, honestly, what I think, and this is something that Chris told me when I was first starting out. He's like, look, when you first start doing it, you're going to be full of nerves and stuff. But after a while, you just start relaxing, and it's just like having any other conversation. So,
right.
I just kind of figure that I'm among friends and I'm talking, and I just let thoughts pour out, and whatever wherever it goes. It's usually one-sided because I can't watch the chat room and see how people are responding. But really, that's just it. It's just, and you got comfortable and you did a real nice job. So
thank you.
Yep. So anyway, moving along though, but we're going to get into the actual paranormal part of the program.
Oh goodness, paranormal stuff. Wow.
That's what we do here. That's what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So we're going to talk about just pretty much anything and everything paranormal. As we get closer to the holidays, I'll try to pull up some more holiday type themes. But I mean, God, we're almost halfway through December now. My God. Time is going fast. It is. Don, is it?
Yes, it is. Well, because
welcome to the show, Don.
Well, I looked up the other day and I looked at my roommates and I said, "Oh my God, we're almost at tax time again. I might be able to buy something this year."
Really?
Like, meat.
No more cardboard sandwiches for Don.
Hand sandwiches. That's where you take the mayonnaise and spread it right on your hand and just lick it away.
Oh, nummy. Make sure to watch first, ladies and gentlemen. That is not a diet tip. It's just a joke. So,
Brent Tom instead of Alexa. No.
What?
So I think Galaxy's hinting that they should change Alexa's voice to Brent and Dawn.
Alexa, or it'd be like, Brent, what time is it? Well, you got hooks up in you? Do I look like a clock? Play me some music. Do it yourself.
There's this thing called a radio. Get used to it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't imagine my voice much anywhere.
Uh-oh. Looks like our getting a little slow there on the cam.
Well, here we're fine, but it's just, I don't know if double streaming this is not a good idea, and I'm thinking that might be the problem. And that's why. The hell is that? Is that a fly? Are you serious? Yeah, it's a house fly. What the hell is that doing here?
Oh,
a house fly. It's December.
No.
How the hell is it?
I don't know.
Is that
you have a very nice house? Fly.
It is, but this is like, isn't that a sign of demons or something? There's a housefly
spewing
bouncing
from the mouths of hell.
Yeah. We've opened a portal, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna have chocolate dipped housefly here shortly.
Don will have it on the grill in no time. It'll be all what is it, dry rubbed and on the grill.
Get the dry rib on there.
Yeah, I'm just like, no shit, that's a housefly. I mean, no kidding. Sorry. But I haven't seen a fly since fall,
Yeah.
I want to give you this login, Don, and I want you to take care of this for me. Will you please?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Sure. It's just I think that double streaming that is just too much of a leg.
Right.
So let me write down those credentials for that, and you can man the YouTube chat, and I will just do the other stuff.
I can definitely man that. Thank you.
What the hell was that?
I'll man that.
Did you hear how breathy that was? I can man that.
I can man that.
I suddenly got a little uncomfortable.
Oh no. Well, that means I got to keep talking.
It's all you, Don.
So,
I'm writing stuff down.
So it's all me again. How does that happen? I don't understand. But that's cool. So I am here to keep you entertained while he gets me those credentials.
Will you stop that? Will you please just stop doing that? Oh, my Lord.
Oh, I got to add some more credentials.
Shut up. I can still mute you, you know. I just need you to talk right now. You've got me in a bad place.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, while Don is actually logging in, doing something productive other than
laughing at
other than making me slowly cringe over here in my seat, I'm going to start reading you some spookiness that I found.
Oh, hey, Brent.
Huh?
Thank you for those credentials.
Shut. That's it. You lost your mic privileges. You're muted. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. There's only so much of that I could handle. We've reached my saturation point. So we'll have the Brent Thomas edition of the Paranormal Portal live stream with Don making hand puppets in the back.
Or dancing.
Or dancing. Don will just be in charge of chat from now on.
Oh, I can't stop.
You can't stop. So the first one I found is, I hope I found, I don't know, this is, oh God. I don't know. I'll look and see if this is, I'm on ThoughtCo again, and that's always a problem. Oh, see, yeah, that's totally different than what I was supposed to have. Gotta love ThoughtCo. It's just, it's supposed to be black-eyed kids stories, and they're, oh, this is Haunted by a Dead Girl. That sounds good. Let's start with that one.
Nobody can hear me.
Huh? No, nobody can hear Don. All right, are you going to be a good boy, Don?
Yes. I'm sorry, Dad.
All right, we'll give you another shot at this. You sat and thought about it for a minute, so
I was in the angry chair.
you were in the angry chair. Yeah, I'm going to shut down this browser too. I think that's a pork chop. IE is a pork chop. No, I wonder, am I too dark? No, I got to open up something else.
Did you put that on the barbecue?
On the Barbie?
On the Bobby.
As Ken would say. Is Ken in here?
No, not yet. Don Gigglebeard. Gee, thanks.
He gets me a giggling. Like a schoolgirl. All right, here we go.
He's only 17.
It went from breathy whispers to serenade. Yeah, winger. All right, so this one is called Haunted by a Dead Girl. And this is from thoughtco.com. It's one of the links they actually have that seems to have kind of worked. It wasn't a black-eyed kid story like it was supposed to be, but at least it led me to something. So we're going to read this. It says, Kennedy always felt that her house was haunted, and a mysterious picture might have proved it. I was never the type to believe in paranormal stuff, even though I found them kind of cool, but I never thought that they were real until a few years ago. In 2010, my family and I moved into a new house in Port Chester, New York. Due to all the things I experienced, I really didn't like that house, even though it was a pretty nice house. It all started when I would have to take care of my little brother at night while my parents went to work. Honestly, I don't remember where my older sister was, but I don't remember her ever being there. I could never go to sleep at night facing my room. I would always have to face the wall and hide under the covers. The covers, Don. It's the paranormal
I was
covers.
thinking about those the other day.
Yeah. It's the paranormal covers. They are the barrier for all things paranormal. Mm-hmm. I would always feel a presence right in front of me if I faced my room. It would watch me, and I'd be terrified and feel the chills at night. Mm. That would be the worst part of the day. Oh, that's horrible. Months later, I felt the presence again. I was home alone while my parents were at a party. I had everything turned on because due to the experiences, I was more cautious. I was using the computer when out of nowhere, all of a sudden, I felt it again, right behind me. I got so cold and I couldn't move, not an inch. I don't know if it was maybe a paralysis or if I was too terrified to look back and see what the creature or spirit that was looking at me. I don't know what it was, but it was a strong feeling. After 3 minutes or so, I felt it leave, and I could finally move again. That night I spent terrified. Also, the basement was the scariest place to be. It was so cold, and I always feel like someone's staring at me. One night I was looking through some old photos in my mom's phone. I was the only one to take pictures in the family, and when innocently looking through the pics, I saw a picture I swear I never took. It was of the kitchen, and there was a girl with long, straight hair and a white dress in the corner of the picture. I got scared and told my mom, and she thought I was playing a trick on her. A few weeks later, my mom left to go to the store and told me that my cousins were coming that day. I was coming out of the bathroom and saw the doorknob moving and shaking. Someone was pushing the door back and forth, and it looked like someone was trying to get in really bad. I stared at it thinking, how can anyone try to get through that door? We only use it to go to the basement, and you would need keys to open that door behind that to get to this door. I asked to see who it was, but there was no answer. Then it stopped, so I opened it. No one was there. I thought my cousins were behind the wall and were going to jump out and scare me, so I waited. Nothing. So I stepped in the hallway and saw no one. The basement door was open, though. I quickly closed the door and still couldn't believe what happened. After moving to a different house, I was on the computer and decided to do research on that house. I found an old article that it said that in the 1800s, there was a girl in her early 20s who had passed away a few days after her marriage. It kind of shocked me that girl could have been the one I saw in the picture, but she didn't seem harmful. Yeah, that's creepy. That's creepy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's an old legend, and I don't know if it has a name or not, but essentially the idea is if your doorbell ever rings, or if you get a knocking on your door in the dead of night and you go and open it and look and nobody's there, you might have actually let something in. So always bear that in mind, that you should definitely look out the window, look through peepholes, and, with that and the black-eyed kids, of course.
So then if you don't see anything out there, but you hear somebody knock on your door,
then definitely don't open it.
just don't open it. Yeah.
Right. Just
Whether it's a ding-dong ditch or a burning bag of poo on your step, just don't open it.
Well, I mean,
Well, if it's a burning bag of poo, it was someone. So.
Yeah, that's spirits aren't known for leaving burning bags of poop on your doorstep. Not that I've heard of, anyway.
Maybe it's just me. They do it too. Then.
Yeah, Don.
It's probably my dog.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Check this out.
I'm gonna trip him out.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, the neighbor's dog, when I'm walking to the store, likes to take a nice poop on the sidewalk.
Nice.
And it's like, it must do it in a walking motion, because it's like these
oh. random
little bombs around the sidewalk, and it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like hopscotch getting to the store, So I don't know what the hell the problem with that dog is, but seems to have trouble with the shutters. I said shutters, ladies and gentlemen. This is a family show.
Yes.
So.
And yet you still let me on.
It's a family show, Don. You're family.
Oh, thank you.
You are a family, brother. So, the next one is called Pennies from Somewhere Unknown. This sounds like an apport to me. And if you're not familiar, ladies and gentlemen, an apport, A-P-P-O-R-T, is the phenomenon of things appearing in your presence or in your home that you didn't bring in and are believed to be whether a gift or just to signify the presence. There's that fly again. Just flew up.
God dang it. I thought I got him all on his barbecue already.
Yeah.
Dang it.
There goes dessert, Don.
Dang it. That cream fly.
Don will whip out his gecko tongue and get it. No, it's got to be on a grill first for Don.
Yeah, well.
Pennies from Somewhere Unknown. All right, so this is Faye is puzzled by a series of incidents in which pennies seem to show up out of nowhere. This took place in October or November of 2015 in Sun City, Arizona. My daughter came to visit, and we were inside the garage getting ready to get in the car. I opened the garage door, and a penny literally rolled in from the outside. How'd that work? They're in a car, and a penny rolled in from outside the car? Wow.
I opened the garage door.
Garage door,
so
sorry.
They got out of the car.
Sometimes you read things and you're not actually you're just translating words and not thinking about it. At the end of December 2015 or January 2016, I was putting on 3/4 length pants I hadn't worn since the fall of 2015. I found a penny in the pocket. Later, when I went to put on jeans, not the same day, there was a penny in the fold of them. In December 2015, I was cleaning out a cup in which I keep pencils, pens, and etc., and found a penny in the bottom of the cup. As I was looking for something in my miscellaneous odds and ends drawer, I found another penny. And here's another story from Bren N. Now the guy's name is Bren, B-R-E-N.
I think they're changing stories.
They are. No,
okay.
No, I got that, but I maybe didn't enunciate it as well as I should have. But I don't know that randomly finding pennies like that would qualify as an apport.
Look, if you were anywhere near my house, you'd find pennies everywhere. And just because I didn't know I put it there doesn't mean I didn't put it there.
Or it didn't fall, or it didn't
fall, or exactly.
I mean, yeah. So anyway, but I guess people tend to believe what they want to believe in some cases. Like I want to believe in the success of the Paranormal Portal.
I do too. Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Ken yet? No?
Yeah, Ken's here. Ken's here.
Welcome, Ken. About time you showed up, brother.
Yeah, better late than, well, you're still late. Doesn't matter.
But you're here.
You're here. That's all we care about.
So Ken's in charge of cleanup after the show.
Okay, cool. Yeah. He gets to clean up all this mess.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so here's another story from Bren N. I was at the bank today, 2/26 of 16, making a deposit. I swiped my card for the teller. A penny fell on my hand and then bounced off and landed heads up on the counter. Date of penny was 1988. Not sure what that could mean for me. Yes, I was at a bank and there were thousands of coins, but I was standing behind a clean counter and there was no place from which a coin could drop. I turned around and asked the guy next in line if he saw where the penny came from, but he looked at me as if I was nuts. What's even more odd is that the guy at the teller next to me was talking about a huge life change that I've been contemplating and has been weighing heavily on me. Coincidence? Perhaps. Or maybe someone out there is trying to tell me something. I'm not sure what that is.
The guy at the teller next to him was talking about a huge life change that he was going through? Or that the guy who with the penny was going through?
That he was also contemplating.
Huh.
So it's like they both were contemplating the same thing, but the one guy was doing it out loud. I don't know. That's a strange story, and I'm not sure if either of those are really that awe-inspiring. But what do you do? What do you do? I don't write these things, ladies and gentlemen. I don't slap the messenger. Ghost Encounters, True Stories, page 3. I love these pages. When the links work, I love them. All right, Ghost joins the field trip. I don't know if that's what I'm going to end up. Nope, I ended up with Doppelganger's True Stories. I love this thought, Co. It would be a brilliant site if their links worked, but I'm not sure. It was updated July 6th of 2017.
Yeah, but it only takes 5 seconds for them to paste in the wrong
link.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they updated it with. Crayons.
Well, and if they just misspelled one little tiny thing or put a slash in the wrong spot, the links don't work.
Wow.
It just means that they're paying the wrong guy.
Yeah.
To link their sites.
Exactly. I actually emailed them and said, I like your site, but your linking is all terrible. And if you need help, please let me know because I can redo your links for you if you give me a sitemap. And never heard back from them. So obviously it's pretty high on their priority list. Apparently not as much as it is on mine. But this one's called The Weeping Ghost of Kerala.
Ooh.
I don't know why she's so sad, but we're going to find out. What am I missing in the chat room, Don? Anything?
Ken had to go put meat in the freezer.
Oh, okay.
So apparently he's at my house.
I don't think it's your freezer, but
it could be.
That could be your happy place. We can go with that. Is that all?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Doc's making a couple inappropriate comments, but that's Doc.
Doc. You know I love you, but you need help.
I think Doc and Pixie take turns. I think that's what they do.
They do. They kind of get like verbal tennis going on wherever they are. It's just like serve, backhand, parry. It's like I see your this and I counter with this. It's kind of funny. All right.
So no, the chat room's good. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the update on Ken's meat, which didn't come out at all like it sounded in my head. So, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it wasn't necessarily inappropriate, but
I thought it was a family show.
It is. I don't know. I'm gonna just shut up and read something. The weeping ghost of Kerala. Farzana and her mother both heard the eerie sound of a weeping ghost. I'm a 22-year-old girl now, and the following incident happened when I was 17 years old. I live in Kerala, India, with my family consisting of my mom and dad and younger brother, and we moved to this house 2 years back, and everything was normal. I usually go to sleep very late at night, spend time reading books or listening to music. One night after listening to music for a long time, I became sleepy and removed my headphones. I clearly remember checking the time, and it was around 3 a.m. I was simply lying down trying to sleep, and that's when I heard a sound. Concentrating further, I was able to understand that it was a weeping sound and probably from a little child, and it was coming from the next room. I immediately checked on the other two rooms for my parents and brother, and they all were sound asleep. We all keep our doors open at night, and I also checked the neighborhood for lights, and I couldn't find any. I was really confused and went to the dining room from where the sound was heard louder. I asked who it was, and suddenly the weeping was heard from the living room. I followed the sound into the living room and repeated the same question, and now the sound started coming from my room. I became really confused this time and went to my room. As soon as I entered my room, the weeping sound stopped abruptly. Before this, I never experienced any paranormal activity, though I strongly believe in it. My grandmother has told me plenty of her paranormal experiences. I decided to let it go and get some sleep, and I closed my door and climbed into my bed when I heard a hard knock on my door. At the same time, there was a thud on my window. By this time, I got a bit scared and got under the covers and was finally able to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I felt really stupid and tried to dismiss the experiences as my imagination. When I told my mom about this, she asked me to lock my door at night and to go to sleep early. I thought it was all over, but from that day, I felt a presence with me in my room every night. It never tried to communicate with me or scare me, but I could always feel it with me at night when I'm alone in my room. This continued to the following year when I entered college and moved into a hostel. I no longer felt the presence around me, not even when I came back to the house to spend vacations. After a year or two, however, I got a frantic phone call from my mother about her experience the previous night. That night, she was lying on the bed, unable to sleep, when she heard a weeping from a little child. She got really afraid because she knew that nobody in the house was awake during that hour, and she listened carefully without making any noise or getting out of bed. As she listened, the weeping got louder and louder, and she realized that whatever it was approaching her. She was terrified and searched for the light switch. The sound got closer, and at the last moment, she was able to switch on the light, and then the sound abruptly stopped. She immediately got out of the bed and locked the door. She slept with lights on that night. When she woke up in the morning, she remembered about my experience and called me. She started locking her door at night, and neither of us heard that sound again.
Huh.
Very weird.
So locking the door locked out the... Huh.
It locked out the pain. No, classic love quotes is not what I want. ThoughtCo, thank you very much. How about that one, Don?
Yes.
Classic love quotes?
Yeah, that's paranormal. That's just scary as hell, but I mean, paranormal's still the same, you know?
Don's afraid of love. Of love. 100-year-old ghosts.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, but it's a bunch of broken links again.
Nice.
Dang you, ThoughtCo. Dang you. Okay.
Dang you all to hell. Why would I say dang and then hell?
I don't know. It was
kind of disjointed.
Well, they're both appropriate words, but I'm going to close that link because that's broken. Well, I'm going to just look and see if any of their... See, none of these are actually linked. This whole page.
Right, yeah.
Wow, all of those stories are somewhere on their server, but nobody bothered to link them up. True stories from ghosts, a collection of true stories about encounters with shadow people.
Well, shout out to Gilbert, Gilbert's Paranormal.
Gilbert's Paranormal.
Yeah, this is the second time we've seen him. He was in our
that's
last.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Welcome back, brother. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Creepy Santa stories will probably be next week, Pixie. Of course, we can't really find any creepy Santa stories.
I hope this link works.
Clumsy shadow person?
Yeah, I hope it works.
Oh, let's keep our paranormal.
No, it's the Weeping Ghost of Kerala again.
Wow,
Thank you.
Nice. Well, they got that link working.
Childhood
correctly.
shadow fears. Let's look at that one.
Dun, 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 dun.
Out of body scare and demon call.
What the heck is that?
Thoughtco is like the slot machine of.
So just push the random button.
Yeah, it's just like entertain me, and you get whatever the hell they want to give you. It might say you're going to get something, but
Gilbert says he likes the music and the dancing at the end of the show.
Don will be performing again tonight.
In my Krampus
In your
outfit.
Krampus?
Krampus?
Krampus.
I'm half German. Or at least I've been told I'm half German.
Okay. That could be. I don't know.
It's a bratwurst.
Don just earned himself another mute, ladies and gentlemen. Don just earned himself another mute. It's going to be a long stream up here in the Paranormal Portal studios. Oh, God help me. And that's on the screen, too. It says, God, please help me. I'm going to read this story. And you going to be a good boy, Don?
I can't hear you.
No, you can hear me. All right, you're back on.
All right.
Let's keep it happy and friendly here, shall we?
Yes.
All right, out of body scare and demon call.
The Germans get here.
All right, he's getting muted again.
Gilbert must be British or from the UK. It's just the way he says things. And the Germans, before the Germans get here, they make fun of the Germans. It was awesome. I love that when they do that.
Wasn't that from Faulty Towers or something?
Well, probably, but I mean, it's a common thing because in the movie Snatch, Jason Statham. Who do you need that gun for? The Germans. It's hilarious.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is good. All right. Out of body scare and demon call. The following incidents took place in Michigan in the summers of 2009 and 2010. I've dealt with sleep paralysis for years, so much that my body is now accustomed to the sensations that are a precursor to the terrible experience, and I'm able to wake up before it fully takes a hold of me. One thing that I've always found to be truly bizarre about this is that I had never experienced it in my life until my ex-wife told me about how it used to happen to her when she was younger. That night it happened to me, and it hasn't stopped. Oh, excuse me. Well, excuse me while I get that out. I'm feeling fine, by the way. That night it happened to me, and it hasn't stopped, even though it has become rarer and rarer. Well, that's good. I had two experiences that leave me at a loss because I've never experienced anything like them, and I'm not sure if they were just really intense episodes of sleep paralysis or if they were out-of-body experiences, or something else I do not know. Wow, did you hear my stomach?
You didn't eat Burger King at the end, did you?
No, I didn't. I ate some rice thing. Rice, and it's it's called, well, never mind. Doesn't matter.
I bet you it's Indonesian.
It is, yeah, but I can't remember. It's kambing something, which, ladies and gentlemen, stands for goat. Yeah, I can't remember it. It's not in my head right now. The first experience I had was in 2009. I was laying in bed watching television, and I fell asleep. Suddenly, I felt myself wake up and realize I hadn't been sleeping long because the show that I had been watching was still on. I could only see half the television because my blanket was pulled up, partially covering my face, and it was making me sweat and making it difficult to breathe. I reached up to pull the blanket down, and that's when I learned that something wasn't quite right, because no matter how hard I tried, I wasn't able to pull the blanket off my face because my hand would just pass through it. Well, that's not sleep paralysis. That is more of an out-of-body thing. I think he's right. Terrified, I jumped out of bed and was overcome by this strange dizzy and numb feeling in my head and throughout my entire body. I thought that maybe I was having a stroke or something, so I ran to my door to get my parents to take me to the hospital. I reached for the door handle, and just like the blanket, my hand passed right through it. I tried to grab it several times and got the same result each time. My hand passed through it, and I tried to beat on the door really hard in hopes the noise would wake someone in the house and that they would come to check on me, but again, my hand passed right through the door. I then started to really freak out because I thought that I was dead, and I began to hyperventilate and cried out to God. All of a sudden, it felt like there was a zap, and I was back laying in my bed with the blanket over my face. Only now I was able to pull it off, and I jumped out of bed and ran out of my room and didn't go back to sleep for the rest of the night. I told my mom about it the next day, but she didn't really believe me and said it was just a nightmare, which, for all I know, might have been. My second occurrence happened about a year later, in the summer of 2010. It was mid-afternoon, and I was feeling tired, so I decided to take a nap. I went to lay in bed, and I was struggling to fall asleep. I finally managed to start to drift off when my cell phone rang. I didn't want to answer it because I was almost asleep, but I reluctantly grabbed it and climbed out of bed. Without looking at the number, I answered and said hello. There was no response. And so I said hello again. Still, there was no response. Irritated, I walked out of my room down the hall toward the family room and said hello one more time out of frustration. Finally, a voice replied, but it was all static and breaking up. I said, I can't hear you. You're breaking up. Then the voice became clear and it said, hello, I need you to do me a favor. I laughed, thinking it was some sort of prank call because I didn't recognize the voice, and I decided to play along. I asked what the favor was, and then the voice completely changed from pleasant to this deep demonic growl and screamed, let me in. Jeez. I freaked out and threw my phone across the room. It hit a wall and shattered into pieces. My entire house began to shake like there was a massive earthquake, and my vision got really weird. I just closed my eyes and said, God, please help me. And I opened my eyes with a start and was back in my bed, and my phone was sitting beside me in one piece and functional. I picked it up and quickly scanned through my call history, but there was no strange calls made. I also saw that only a few minutes had passed since I first started to fall asleep. I know this is long, but I wanted to share it in hopes that maybe somebody out there has an explanation as to what these two events were. If they were just some really intense form of sleep paralysis or something else. I always have intense, vivid dreams, but these were beyond that. They both were so unbelievably real, and they didn't seem like I was sleeping at all, although apparently I was. They still kind of freak me out when I think about them and would like some insight into them. That's bizarre, huh?
Well, you know, she said that
she or he, I don't know.
Well, the person, the storyteller there said that they couldn't move the sheets. Well, that's because they had the wrong sheet set.
They weren't Paranormal Portal sheets, perhaps.
That's right. You can do whatever you want. See, the portal sheets are always under your control. Always.
They are imbued with the life force of yours. It sucks the life force right out of you into the thread count. That was written by Stephen Wagner, so it's a he. Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. Did you have anything you wanted to read, Don?
Well, you know, sure. I guess I could read this one.
You sound surprised. Like, what?
See.
Me?
Oh, hold on. Why is it doing that? Okay.
I don't know.
This is out of 13 people share their spine-tingling stories of near-death experiences.
Oh, my.
And it's just because you brought up that last one, I thought it would kind of like blend in with that one.
Okay.
So this one says she
blend away, Don.
Blend away. Let me get my emulsifier. Hold on. Okay, so this one's called She Was Technically Dead.
Ooh, that's a hell of a story.
My aunt died in the hospital several years ago. She was clinically dead for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
In that time, she says she floated above the operating table and saw them trying to revive her. She says she felt a pull on her and flew out of the very top of the room. She remembered very clearly floating above the light fixture on the ceiling and then there being darkness. Suddenly, she found herself floating above the ground, several inches just above a field of dirt. In front of her was a very large chasm, deep, very dark, and she couldn't see the bottom of it from where she was. On the other side of the chasm was a beautiful field, green grass, flowers, trees, and sunlight. On her side of the chasm, it was overcast and very little light, no vegetation, just brown dirt. She felt the same force that pulled her out through the ceiling of the hospital start pulling her across the chasm. As she started floating over the chasm, I'm getting tired of that word. As soon as she started floating over the chasm, these hands reached out of the blackness and started pulling at her, almost like ripping the flesh from her hands and feet. She says it was the worst feeling of pain and cold that she had ever experienced, and it horrified her. After what seemed like forever, she reached the other side of the chasm and the hands went away. The feeling of pain and terror was replaced with a feeling of happiness, contentment, and warmth. Several family members that had been dead for some time now were there, and they seemed to be beckoning her over. She was lowing to the field. I think that means lowering to the field when she heard the doctor say something. It sounded like an echo very loudly from the other side of the chasm. Suddenly, the force that pulled her across the chasm, this force was pulling her across the chasm again, only this time much faster than she had been pulled over the first time. Again, the hands came, again the cold. The hands ripped at her and she felt pain as she had never felt before. Finally, she came to the dirt side of the chasm again, then blackness. Then she was on the ceiling of the room in the hospital again and saw her body spasm violently and her arm smack the doctor's arm, breaking his watch. Her spirit was pulled back into her body again, and she heard him say something like, "She's back," and then blackness again. Several hours later, she woke up and was PO'd at first. Then she realized she was alive and thanked the doctors. He was surprised because when she did that, she was technically dead. I don't know what she saw, but this is a very descriptive of what she thinks she saw. Interesting.
Very.
So she was on the dirt side, being dragged across all these hands and ripping fingers and coldness.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was happiness and sunshine and family.
What the hell?
What'd you do there? What'd you break?
I
You broke it.
No, what the hell I did?
You broke it.
No, I was clicking on before it's news. Sarah sent it to me, and I was
I see.
clicking on a article that looked like it might be cool, and then it gave me a pop-up.
Huh. Well, there you go.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. And if you will, how many people are in there, Don?
It says 10 watching, but
10 watching.
Yeah.
Well, are they all 10 talking?
Well, there's a good portion of them having a discussion about Lemmy Lemix from Motorhead.
Oh,
who's
Lemmy.
dead.
Oh, he didn't he pass a few years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago now. Lemmy. His name was Lemix.
Lemmy is Lemmy though, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. I was thinking, what do you think about a quick break?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so let's take a potty break.
We can just call them breaks, Don. This isn't kindergarten.
Really?
We're going to take a potty break here on the Paranormal Portal, ladies and gentlemen.
Teacher.
Teacher, I have to tinkle. No. But I will play something here to keep you guys. This is not an excuse to leave. You are not dismissed. Any of you. You must stay with us.
You must stay or else.
Stay with us.
You will be trapped in the portal.
We need you. We need you.
We do need you. Yes. We've only been going 54 minutes. We're at least looking at another hour and 5 minutes.
At least another 2 hours.
My hall pass. Yes, I need a hall pass. Teacher, can I get the hall pass? I gotta pee.
Don't you hate those, like the ones that are like really Weisenheimers, and they give you like a big milk jug with a big chain attached to it? It's like,
yes.
what the hell am I supposed to do with this?
It's the key of shame.
Yeah. It is like, I'm sorry, I couldn't plan to go between classes. I have to carry this luggage to go to the bathroom. That's just humiliating.
Okay, Gilbert's Paranormal. That is definitely not a story I'm going to read on the here.
I wish I could see the chats. I wish I could see the chat because
that is creepy. Let me just say it's about a rash.
Oh dear God. Yeah, we'll probably avoid rash discussions. We've had about all the health and hygiene discussions we're going to have tonight. That was at the lead into the show when we were discussing my recent health crisis.
Oh, by the way, Doc says don't spew towards the camera.
I'm telling you, it was just an O. And it was full. It was full. And my ribs, my God, it was like I did like a weekend of Pilates or something.
Weekend of Pilates.
I'm telling you, I was just so much pain for like 3 days after that. I was like, oh, God. But you should see my abs now.
It's like a six-pack.
Yeah, underneath a pillow.
That's a good place to keep a six-pack.
That's right. Kind of insulated. But I'm going to put this tune on, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to take a quick break. And please don't go away, because I would just feel really sad if you guys decided to ditch us at this point, because we love you. So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away for more Paranormal Portal. back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being patient. Much better now. Thank you.
The paranormal potty is now closed.
I flushed the portal, and washed my hands. So
hey, shout out to Lewis. Lewis just joined us in the YouTube chat. Lewis,
where you been, brother? And ladies and gentlemen, Lewis is a longtime friend of the show.
Yes,
he's one of the very, very first, I think, that ever listened to the show way back when. Yeah, if you can believe that.
When it was just you on the Paranormal Portal?
When it was just me, and it was only an hour long, and it was only one night.
Wow.
I think Lewis was one of the first people that I really got to know doing the show.
Wow. Hardcore Lewis.
Lewis is like an OP, original Portal.
An original Portal. Nice.
Lewis is original Portal.
Nice.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's our Wednesday night live stream here on YouTube.
Wednesday Night Live.
Wednesday Night Live.
Starring Brent Thomas and that other guy in the seat.
Yeah. Brent Thomas and the Bearded Menace.
Goodness.
Oh, God. But we are live. We are doing this right now as we speak. Making this stuff up as we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have no plan. We don't know what the hell we're doing.
There's no plot to the portal.
There's no plot to the portal. It doesn't pay to have a plot because the portal does as the portal wills.
The portal does as the portal pleases.
Yeah. Well, that's very well said. Wow, that was very eloquent.
Very alliterative. Oh boy. Okay.
By the way, you say chasm?
Chasm, yeah.
Okay.
I guess you could say chasm.
That's what I was expecting, but you said chasm. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know. Maybe I've heard it that way before. I don't know, but it was just interesting.
It's a big, deep hole.
Just like the portal, ladies and gentlemen, or where Don finds himself before muted. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He comes with a shovel.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Wow. What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're drinking.
All good. Yes, I'm drunken.
Oh, did you?
What?
You got enough water? Okay.
Yeah, I got plenty.
I was going to say you should have grabbed another one.
Nope.
You could have. The offer was there.
All right. Well.
So how you guys doing tonight? I hope you're enjoying the show. We're having a thrilling time bringing it to you. Thank you. I got to thanks her there quick because she sent that a long time ago, and I did say on the air what had happened, but I didn't say thank you, so now I've said thank you. All right. I'm just noticing. Hey, is Deb in here?
No, Deb's not in
Where
here.
is Deb?
I don't know. Well,
she
posted
messaged on
40 minutes ago.
That's right. 43 minutes ago, she posted on Facebook, and she's still not here. Well, I guess Ken's going to have help cleaning the portal.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, at least it'll be good company.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. This is a live stream. So Sarah did send me a link for beforeitsnews.com, which is a pretty cool site. And, I should refer to this more often during the show. I see they got a ton of UFO-related stuff. And so, Doc, this story's for you. To prove to you that I don't need to be sick in order to cover UFOs on the portal. Yeah. So I do enjoy. I've had like a real life close encounter kind of experience. So I mean, that's like, I totally believe in these things. I know they're real. On 2 occasions I've seen a saucer type of craft, but the one occasion was just right in my face, just sitting there. And so I know they're there. I know they're real. And I don't shy away from the subject at all. I mean, I'm okay talking about it. If somebody ever asks me, I'm like, yeah, I've seen one. I'm not shy about it. I don't recall. In fact, I just shared the story of my first encounter with a gentleman I just met on Facebook, and he and I. It turns out he's from the area too, Don, but he's originally from Minnesota as well, which is cool.
Wow, what is it with Midwesterners that move west?
We're just going west, young man. Nice. So, well, this is as far as I made it. So, the north of Idaho, but it was. I was sharing with him my experience because I think I first met him on a aliens group that I belong to. as well. And I explained the encounter of seeing it and then deciding that it was probably looking at me and that I wanted to just go inside and be done with the experience before I was hoovered up and probed or something, you know. So I didn't need to make it any more real than that at that point. It was plenty real already.
You didn't want to experience what it feels like sitting down afterwards?
No, exactly. I wanted that. You know, I would have loved to have sat and watched it for longer, but at that point, it's like, I'm all alone up here. This is like, it's not like somebody's going to, you know, pull my arm and, you know.
Save you?
Yeah, save me. I'm like kind of on my own up here, and it's in a mountain cabin and, you know, a mountain house, whether it's not really a cabin. Beautiful house, but, you know, it's not like I had many resources or options. I don't even think cell phones don't even work up there, as I recall, or just very, very, very spotty.
Huh.
And so I was like, you know, I just think this is time to call it a night, you know, because I'm watching them, and I just dawned on me like, it's the night in the mountains, and there's nothing else going on, and they're just really close. And I'm looking at them. I guess they're looking at me. So the first question he asked after that, though, was, did you have any missing time? And I didn't. I don't believe there was any further experience to that at all. It happened. It was surreal. It was brilliant. It was amazing. But as far as I know,
that's all it was.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it wasn't.
It was a platonic relationship at that point.
They didn't bring dinner, and so I wasn't going for it. I'm not a cheap date. But I just, you know, I mean, it was plenty real, and it was phenomenal.
Sure, yeah.
But it was, you know, it's funny that people always make that correlation. Like, and maybe something did happen. I don't know. I don't have any reason to believe anything else occurred, because, I mean, afterwards I went in, and it's not like I woke up laying in the gravel like I was telling you earlier, Don. It was just like I just went, oh, God, you know, wait, maybe they're watching me too. This is weird. I better go inside. And that's what I did. And I sat on the bed for hours just sitting there going, oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, wow. Because, I mean, like, you know, it's one thing to have an open mind for a possibility of something to exist, but it's another to have something exist, you know. That was it. It was there. It was right, you know. What?
Doc says, what if a UFO dropped Burger King on your front doorstep?
Then it might be on, brother.
it might be an act of war also.
Yeah, exactly. After what I experienced last time, they better bring Taco Bell. At least I know what end that's coming out of.
Some Rolaids as well.
Yeah,
ROLAIDS.
Yeah, it was. So, but I had some kind of point to all this. I guess the experience has made me clearly a believer. I don't have any question in my mind, but at the same time, I think there's so many people that know so much more about this, that have dedicated their lives to it. You mean to look at, you know, Ancient Aliens and all of the MUFON investigators and all those people that have, you know, spent lifetime investigating and discussing possibilities and, you know, and collecting evidence. And I haven't collected much evidence on it. I've just always had an open mind and believed that the phenomena was possible. So it's not something that I believe I can cover and give it as much as it deserves to be given. So that's why, you know, having someone like Don, who's absolutely passionate about it, not that he's experienced it, but he's very passionate about the phenomenon. And so when he covers it, it just comes from a very cool place, because he's also learned about the whole background behind it and such, more so than I am. So, Doc, that's why I kind of shy away from it. It's just that I don't think I can cover it and do it the justice it deserves, but I certainly am passionate about it, but just don't know as much about it. So, actually, this is on my birthday. It's this is MUFON investigators close encounter at Area 51. This is May 1st, 2006. In Area 51, Nevada. You know, the funny thing, Don, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. Now, it was always called the base at Groom Lake.
Right.
It was never referred to as Area 51, except for the point that the whole base is divided into sections called areas,
Right.
and the area that has the buildings on it is called Area 51.
Right.
I mean, it's number 51, so that's where the old Area 51 came from.
Well, and then Hangar 18 on top of that, too.
Okay, see, I didn't even know Hangar 18. I guess I did now that you mention it. But
well, other than it was a Megadeth song back in the 80s. You know?
But you know what? And a lot of the things that people purport to show as proof, I've considered absolute hoaxes based on the fact that they'll have little signs around that say like Area 51, you know, or bottles that are labeled Area 51. It's like, you know, it's the base of Groom Lake or whatever it was actually titled, but Area 51 was more just a designation for the building location.
Right, exactly.
So,
yeah. But otherwise it was always known as just Groom Lake or the base of Groom Lake, like you said. Yep, that's right.
Okay. Well, I thought that was correct, but you know, and then that's how I've, you know, discounted a whole bucket load of purported evidence just on that basis alone. It's like the military never called it Area 51. People did.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the conspiracy theorist people.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by people, because they are the best people, of course.
Well, of course.
They're paranormal enthusiasts, after all. So
I want to believe.
Yeah. The truth is out there, Don.
That's me actually saying yes. I want to believe.
It's
interesting. It's very interesting. I wish I wish I had more info on it, or I wish I had seen the atypical. Or the very typical pie plate, saucers.
Mm-hmm. Oh man!
At least I know pie plate means dessert.
Yes.
I mean, you might not get dinner before, but maybe some dessert after.
Yeah, well, it depends on how you define dessert, but actually, what I'd like for you to do, Don, is take my night vision binoculars home and start going out at night and looking at the sky.
Oh, yeah, well.
What?
Well, I haven't been sleeping anyhow.
Well, I
might as well do something at
well,
night.
Absolutely. But otherwise, I mean, when I had this experience, it was probably about the same kind of day cycle as now.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any snow on the ground, but it was like I believe, late spring, but it might have been late fall as well, but It wasn't snow. I'm trying to remember, as I know it was definitely fall, and I think I told that guy the wrong time of year. I'm dyslexic when it comes to dates and times and days, but the beauty of it is that it gets so dark early, So I mean, it's 4 p.m. here and it's dark. Don?
Yes. 4 p.m. and it's dark, yes.
Yeah, so that's why you wouldn't have to worry about your sleep cycle to go outside and look to the sky.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have night sky for, most of the night.
We have 18-hour nights here.
Yeah, I mean, geez, it might as well be Alaska up here, we're living in a big bowl anyway, so the sunset is a little earlier than normal. But, I mean, it gets like pitch black out at about 5 p.m., and it's pitch black out until about 7 a.m.
Right.
So there's plenty of night for you to check it out. But I'd really like you to do that because I want you to just, have a chance to look, to see if you see something that defies your explanation or that you can't just
Well, you want me
dismiss.
to find something that defies my explanation because then I can't explain it.
Well,
like my TV.
Okay. So, but you have a tendency to even desperately sometimes try to grasp onto some menial explanation, even when the paranormal explanation would be so much
the Occam's razor.
Yeah, it would make more sense than to, well, it's this, and this, and this, and the Mars in retrograde and
swamp gas off of the Mississippi.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, I think you should take them home and check them out because this area tends to be a hotbed anyway. And the gentleman I was talking to, he had a few other things, including a demon house apparently in Rathdrum. Are you familiar with that?
No.
There's apparently a demon house in Rathdrum. And
I'll find it.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
I'll find it.
And he was asking me if I had heard of it, and I hadn't, but I've only been up here 3 years, so there's a lot that I haven't heard of in the area. But anyway, long segue to the story. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't lose anybody.
May 1st, 2006, Area 51,
Nevada. My wife and I decided to spend 1 week in Las Vegas to celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary. We stayed at the Luxor for 7 days and had a great time. On day 6, we decided to take a trip out to Area 51. Since I was a new investigator for MUFON, I mapped out the trip from Las Vegas and found the main highway to the area. I heard some bad things about all the front gate and the way the guards intimidated sightseers, so we decided to go to the back gate. We found the little the
little alien.
Oh,
Alien.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
The little alien
diner. Okay, in Rachel, Nevada, and had a bite to eat. I did talk to the owner, and she said that the back gate road was only a quarter mile away. My wife, Kelly, was excited about the trip, so we headed over to the road to Area 51. The road was very wide and graveled, and it looked well maintained for truck traffic. The whole area was desolate except for the mountains in the far distance. We were approximately 5 miles into our trip when all of a sudden an ear-shattering noise seems to hit the car. It was very high-pitched, wavering noise that lasted for a couple of seconds. The first thing we did was to duck down and almost bumped our heads on the seat of the car. We stayed there for about a minute before we had the nerve to look out the window of the car. I eventually got out of the rental car and looked around. There was nothing unusual about the area. And the only aircraft that I saw throughout the day was an F-16 flying at around 2,000 feet 15 minutes earlier. After we caught our breath, we decided to venture to the back gates. The total mileage was around 10 miles from the extraterrestrial highway to the back gates. There were signs all over the back gate, and a large guardhouse was off in the distance. Of course, the signs posted said deadly force authorized if caught trespassing. I took a few photos, and we decided to get out of there. I have no idea what the loud noise was, but I do not think it was a device that could direct deafening noises to scare people away. If that was the case, then why haven't I heard of similar encounters from traveling to the back gates? The trip back to Vegas was uneventful, but it was something that we will never forget. Close encounter of the deafening kind may be a new category. That was from Ken Pfeiffer. Interestingly enough, a friend of mine, Josh, was on the show. He's the curator of oddities, and he has a story about when he was going to be driving in the area of Area 51, and he was planning on stopping by the area, but he said that as he neared the base, he got about an hour away or close to maybe within an hour of where the base is, and the next thing you know, he woke up in his car 3 hours later, well past the base. So he's got all kinds of missing time in there. I'm not sure what happened to the poor guy, but he experienced something. But it would be interesting to see if he would be a candidate for regression therapy to
find out.
Yeah, see if something did happen. That would be wild. So that was for you, Doc, to show you that I can cover aliens.
Because they've got him covered.
Apparently they did. You know, the second time that I saw the UFO craft was at this house, standing on the back stoop, and it was more of an underside of a saucer going overhead, but it was in the infrared as well. But it was about, I don't know, 600-700 feet up. It wasn't way up. I mean, as far as I could tell, and unless it was an enormous craft, but it looked, like a disc going overhead, and I could see the sectional, like almost like pie slices going towards the center, and the lights flashing on the outside. So very cool experience, both of them. But the first one was by far the most profound. So what do you got, Don?
I was just thinking about pizza.
All right.
Pizza pie.
Did you eat before you came, Don?
I did. As a matter of fact, I have pizza out in my pickup. So yeah, I did. This archive post, you won't be able to view or comment.
Did you have another one or no?
I was looking for one, but that one is non gratis now. Let me say,
non gratis. You're getting all deep on me.
Well, I actually picked up a book the other day. It's called Latin Primer A for Children.
Oh, okay.
So that's
how old is this book?
It's actually not very old. It's actually only a few years old, but I decided maybe I'd give it a try.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Well, I mean, my whole email address is nothing but Latin, and I barely know what it means.
That's true. That's true, and it's like the only email address in the world that nobody will ever be able to email you.
And thank God. All right.
What about your fans, Don? What about your fans?
Oh, my fans love me. They can get a hold of me at Don Lawnbeard on Facebook or the Aether Archives in YouTube. Or Facebook. Or Facebook, yes. Yeah, I've got one here. This one says, it was just peaceful. It says, I think I've had an NDE. A mild accident in the snow, and I was getting much air into me. It was a very peaceful experience. There was little to no pain, and there were bright swirls of light in the sky, similar to watching the reflections on a lake. I felt my vision go darker at the edge, vignetting, and then a floating feeling. I just felt my limbs fall away, like when you lie in bed with everything relaxed completely. I don't know what that is. Even in the falling snow, I felt warm. I watched a documentary many years before that, and they suggested that the light you see are your senses shutting down as your body prepares for death. I think NASA puts astronauts through intense gravitation G-force tests to see what the human limits are. Apparently, some astronauts start to see tunnels of light as the body moves into dying mode. Unfortunately, I have no articles to back that up. Sounds like a research task.
It does.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, if blacking out and your vision just kind of wall-eyeing then in that case I've died several times. I just wish I could sleep while I'm doing it.
It's the forever sleep, Don. It's coming for all of us.
Oh, I don't want that one then. I'll pass on that one.
The forever sleep.
The sleep forever.
Mm.
The wooden jacket of time.
Wooden jacket of time. I don't know what that means either. It was very poetic, though, for what it's worth.
I was going for my Longfellow.
Not here, Don.
I've had a couple. Yeah, never mind. The chat room's been very, especially Pixie.
Oh.
Very grilling ribs again.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
So, yeah, pizza.
So this one's called Disappearing Vehicles, and I'm back on thoughtco.com. I found an article they actually have that works. So let's see what this has got to say, because it's called Disappearing Vehicles. All right. Mike is completely puzzled by a vehicle following his car and gaining on him suddenly vanishes. There seems to be a lot of these stories out there about the old car zooming in on people. I think Bray Road is also in Wisconsin or somewhere. There's a Beast of Bray Road that has to do with the dog man, and then there's some road somewhere, and it's not coming to me now, but there's a road where it's supposed to be haunted, and apparently it's surrounded by woods that had all kinds of devil worship in them, or at least rumored to be. Oh, apparently there's a lot of that legend around here too, Don, about a lot of devil worshiping going on.
Oh, well, yeah. Especially because we're in that area where, if you go south for about an hour, you come into that area where all that Aryan Nation stuff was, and.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I heard about a lot of those clowns are up here too, huh?
Well, now they're more southeast, and they can stay there.
They can get the hell out. That's right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, those guys are all kinds of confused or
just disturbed.
Disturbed, yeah. Yeah. Eesh. Don't get me started. Actually, on Friday's show, I'm going to do my rant. I was going to do it tonight, but I was going to talk about how emotionally charged people are right now.
Oh, they are. Yeah,
and I want to talk about it in terms of not only just decency, but in terms of the paranormal going on, because I think there's a direct correlation to a lot of paranormal things and the accounts increasing and the amount of emotional charge that are going on in our populace. So I'll discuss that on Friday, I think. Maybe Saturday. Okay, sure. I don't know. We'll see if I remember to discuss it at all. I might just forget all about it. Some of you out there might have to remind me. What about the emotional charge? What were you talking about? So if I don't talk about it, give me a reminder. So anyway, this is Disappearing Vehicles. This is a story about Mike. It was written by Mike T. Mike is completely puzzled. So let's see what he's puzzled about. Sorry. I'm drinking water. Why am I still burping? Jeez, it's not like it's carbonated. It's just spring.
Yeah, it's just water.
Spring water.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm only human, and I require beverage every once in a while. Because talking is tough. Mike is completely puzzled. So I came across this site last night as I had a strange encounter or experience that day, being the 5th of January, 2012. Maybe that's the problem with this site, is just that it's so old. I don't know. This story relates to a disappearing cars, as weird as it seems, but I feel compelled to share it, even though it sounds ridiculous even to me as I write this, but maybe someone else has had a similar experience. Breathe. Inhale. The first incident was not the main focus of what I wanted to share, but it appears to be related. Just before midday on January 5th, I was driving to see a friend in Clayton, Victoria, Australia. Ken, this is in your neighborhood, so you'll have to go check this road out wherever it is. Along the course of the journey, I was behind a car and same kind of make to mine, although a bit different. Through traffic negotiation, I ended up in front of this vehicle and continued at a distance, and it continued at a distance behind me in the same lane, far left of the 3-lane road. Traffic wasn't overly heavy, but a lot of cars and trucks scattered on the road. I followed the road left at the end of the Westall Road extension into Princess Highway and checked my mirrors expecting to see this car come around the bend behind me. But it hadn't and didn't. This struck me as odd, but I quickly forgot about it, as maybe the vehicle had changed lanes and turned right. Finished, no big deal, but nonetheless strange. Now, here is the bit that I wanted to share originally. Later that same night, I stopped at a local pizza shop just before midnight to grab a small pizza to take away.
Told you, pizza.
Pizza takeaway. Yep. Traveling back home along Nepean Highway and EPEAN, Ken, so just so you know. There were no other vehicles on the road in either direction. I had my cruise control set on 60, and it is an easy straight run. But as I came up to Chelsea shops along the road, I noticed in my rear and this an RHS mirror. And I think it's my rear view mirror. A vehicle slowly catching up to me, but still at a distance.
RHS, right-hand side.
Oh,
mirror.
right-hand side. Thank you. Thank you, John, for translating the English tongue to me. I apparently need help once in a while.
It's the Australian version of the English tongue.
Probably, yeah. But still at a distance. I thought it odd that he would be slightly speeding, especially through the shopping strip, as it has lit up road signs indicating 60 kilometers per hour, which changed to 40 during the day. We have a very low speed tolerance of 3 kilometers per hour over the limit, and you cop a fine if caught. I could make out from the streetlights that it was a 4-wheel drive and towing a trailer, but by the time we had reached the end of the shopping strip, the traffic lights at the intersection still remained green. At this point, as we passed through the intersection, I was expecting the vehicle to be passing me, but glancing in my right-hand side mirror, I couldn't see the vehicle and thought it was in a blind spot, so I looked over my shoulder and couldn't see it at all. Now, one might think he turned right at the intersection, but at his speed being 60-ish or more, I don't think he would be able to turn this 90-degree corner with such a vehicle and towing a trailer. And he had just begun to gain on my right-hand side by this time. I couldn't comprehend what had just happened. 1 minute the vehicle has gained on me and the next gone. When I say minute, I really mean we're talking about seconds. I didn't turn the car around, although I thought about it because I wanted to get home and eat the pizza, which was still hot. Writing this almost 18 hours later, I tend to think that maybe there is logic behind it. But 2 instances in one day, that's why I did a Google search and came across this site. I am open to paranormal phenomenon, but don't make this stuff up for the sakes of it, let alone write about it. The only thing in common was that I was focused on both these vehicles, one similar to mine during the day and the late night incident being the only car on the road gaining on me. Could I have disappeared these in my mind, or is there a simple logic behind it all and just coincidence? I don't know. Good questions, though, sir. Some of which there's the weeping ghost again.
Hey, Doc had a great idea.
What was that?
Paranormal Portal fake tattoos. I think that's a great idea. They vanish.
Why not real
eventually.
tattoos?
Well, because we can't sell those.
Well, no, but
We could sell fake tattoos.
we could.
I like the word tattoos.
Apparently, you do.
Tattoos.
Okay.
Pixie wants Paranormal Portal press-on nails.
I'm not even sure what those would look like.
Doc says he wants them too.
Doc, we'll get you the Paranormal Portal Speedo. Just email us your size. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to know. I don't
Extra
wanna know.
small. Sorry, Doc, but you kind of.
Don just put you on the grill.
It just happens.
Never a dull moment here on the Portal, ladies and gentlemen,
That is
where
true. That is true.
all things are
Para and not normal.
Yeah, well, that discussion was not normal, so it qualifies. I wonder what Paranormal Portal nails would look like.
I don't know.
Pixie should just get a shirt. Those are already available.
Yeah, that'd be easy. Oh, and I told you during Saturday's show, Doc said we also need to do shot glasses. Is that correct? Did I tell you
Yes,
that?
you did. Yeah,
Yes,
we should look at some.
Don's Bigfoot Burgers. Oh no! Oh no! Nice.
I just had a vision of your chin just like dripping with
Big
ketchup and mustard and as you
grease
tried
from
to
the
eat. Yeah,
grease from that Bigfoot burger. Sorry, wrong way.
Let's see, what does that look like? Do it again, Don. I want to see you this time. Yeah. I that's a man that loves his burgers, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy.
Burgers can come from the grill too. Yeah, I don't know, Bigfoot burgers. That'd be kind of funny, wouldn't it? Do some buns shaped like big feet and some patties shaped like big feet. Just
Do these burgers make my feet look big?
but you're going right to your hips. That's actually kind of clever. I think doing Bigfoot burgers.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard would it be to press out buns that look like feet and patties? You could just get a stamp and roll out the burger and cut them up. That'd be hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
If I was more of an entrepreneurial spirit, I would look into that. But I've never really wanted to do a food service kind of business. I think that takes a whole different kind of person because it's got to be a lot of work.
I think we can make a lot of money next year though, doing that one event.
I think so too. I think so too as well. Yeah. I think we should probably go tour that place that does the
Oh yeah.
the maker space or whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
That-
it just got to that point. Look at this. It just got to that point.
What? Oh.
Wow. The stream is so far behind.
It is very far behind, but good things in life are worth waiting for,
That's
ladies and
true.
gentlemen.
That's true.
And so whenever you actually hear us talking, we've already moved on to something 5 seconds later.
Nothing to see here,
Or
folks.
10 seconds. I don't
Move
even
on.
know how slow the stream is. We got a green light, though, on the stream
Nice,
quality, so
nice.
that's pretty good.
Excellent. Hey, but I was thinking that other thing. The Josh and the lemonade. Yeah.
Yep. No, we're on the same page.
I was thinking chicken or turkey. Turkey sounds good too. That would be easy to do.
Might be.
Yeah. No, it would. It would be totally easy.
Okay. Well, I trust you. I don't know how you would. Well, I mean, that's a discussion for another time, probably.
Yeah, sure,
but, we're just having a round table here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Paranormal Portal Round Table, where we plan our futures.
It's neither round or a table. It's just a round table.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'd like to do. I'd love to, really work on expanding the Paranormal Portal product line.
Yeah, definitely that.
I mean, we got to, unfortunately, with anything with entertainment like a show like this is, you really have to have numbers to drive the economy of it. I mean, you really do. But that's, something I want to continually thank you guys out there for listening and for spreading the message and sharing the videos and, letting people know what we're doing here because it is growing. It's it's really becoming so much more than it was, and I have all of you to thank for that. I can't take much credit for that, but it's your support and you guys always showing up and being a part of it that makes it really, really cool. So thanks a lot, guys. What were you snickering about, Tom?
Well, I was just Ken says the Paranormal Portal board game, but what would a Paranormal Portal board game look like?
It would be there would be like cards that would say, "Oh, no sound on the broadcast. Move back 3 spaces."
3 spaces. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Don singing ABBA again. Move forward 2 spots.
No. Return to start. And it would be your camera froze. Reboot laptop and go back 10 spaces.
Brent was abducted by UFOs.
Brent's been probed.
Lewis says it'd be shaped like a Ouija board. Or like a Ouija board. So,
that would be funny.
Kind of give it, a track. The track would be like a Ouija board kind of thing.
If you guys out there develop these things,
Bigfoot cave.
I will let you license it, and we'll talk terms later. That's all I got to say. Those are great ideas, all of it, but unfortunately, I don't know that we have the demand outside of you guys right here listening yet. But hopefully someday,
You get hungry, go to Don's basement.
No.
Doc says, Doc K and a Speedo, go straight to jail. Do not pass go, don't collect $200.
Yeah.
Wow, this is getting out of hand.
This is
awesome.
the Paranormal Portal board game. It would have absolutely nothing to do with paranormal. It would just be the hijinks of the show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The hijinks and the
what
paranormal happenings.
What it means to do this show and all of the things that we have to encounter over and over. And then we'd have the golden card. Deb does readings. Move ahead 5 spaces.
Realize that your life is worth more and throw this game away.
I'd love to see what that would look like, though. It'd be awesome. It would be awesome.
I wonder if you could do it like Clue-like. It was in the paranormal studio. With the webcam. There's a poltergeist in the studio with a webcam.
Exorcise demon. You need sage. Pay banker $500. Yeah. Contact priest or shaman. Yeah.
Smudge with white sage.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I must call Naysay for good advice.
Yeah, no kidding. Naysay would have to bail us out. No, that'd be cool. It's a hilarious idea, and I love the concepts, but I'm not quite sure we're there as a show quite yet, ladies and gentlemen. But keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming. Yeah,
keep dreaming.
That.
Dream these big dreams with me.
Dream.
Okay.
Dream.
There we go. Now moving on. Don thinks this is karaoke night or something. I'm not sure what the hell's going on behind me.
Hey, you can see what's going on behind you. You just have to look at your.
Yeah, I'm trying to read articles, and I got to pull up the cameras to see what the hell you're doing back there.
Hey, so I looked up haunted roads.
Uh-huh.
Road trips, travel at your own risk. America's top 5 most haunted roads.
Oh, okay.
Too bad I can't post this stuff in the YouTube chat.
Yeah,
they don't like us doing that.
No.
But do you have a story, or do you want me to?
Well, I thought you were going to name the roads.
Certainly, yeah. There's yes, Clinton Road.
Clinton Road. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, West Milford, New Jersey.
Okay. Yep.
Says often referred to as the county's most haunted stretch of road, this 9.3-mile run, a twisted string of old pavement tucked away in a heavy northeastern woods, has been associated with everything from the KKK to the Jersey Devil. So that must be out towards the Pine Barrens then.
I suppose. I'm not familiar with New Jersey that well, but it's a pretty big state.
Phantasmal sightings include multiple reports of phantom headlights following dangerously close behind drivers before disappearing into thin air, as well as glowing red eyes staring out from the forest. A ghost buoy bridge, where the road crosses Clinton Brook, legends say any change tossed in the water will be tossed back by a little boy who haunts the spot. In New Jersey, the road has long been famous for its myriad associations with the dark side, with the nearby ruins of Cross Castle rumored to be the house of occult meetings and druidic rituals.
Huh.
The abandoned jungle habitat zoo along the route, a scary sight in its own right, was said to have had dabbled in crossbreeding, creating possessed albino deer that still roam the forest.
Wow.
And even without the supernatural associations, the road is a dangerous one. Pitch black at night without any streetlights and full of sharp hairpin turns and old stone walls that date back to colonial times. It even has its own aptly named Dead Man's Curve. Okay, so it has its own Dead Man's Curve.
Oh.
For many reasons, it's best to proceed with caution.
With caution.
Wow. Well, it sounds like we need to take a road trip to New Jersey.
You know, okay. That was the no. Yeah, I don't know. That was the one I was trying to think of, the Clinton Road. That's right.
Yeah, it's the first one on there.
Very cool.
Yep.
Well, thank you for that supplemental piece of information. The Dome Tours. Oh, why in the hell did none of their links work?
They want you to read the Weeping Ghost again.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like a joke. It's only good once. You know? You can't repeat a joke and you can't repeat a ghost story.
Kind of like Don dancing on live on YouTube.
Oh, Lord, help me. Victim of the Beast. I don't care about that one. I mean, it's terrible, but I'm looking for something that works here. They got some great titles, but Mysterious Night at Gravity Hill. Okay.
Gravity Hill. Okay.
Gravity
cool.
Hill.
Right on.
How the hell would you pronounce this name?
Nivi? Nivy?
We'll call it Nivy.
Nivy?
Neivy. Nivy? Okay.
I bet you it's pronounced Navy.
Nivy?
Asole.
Isole? What's that?
Asole. It's spelled ASSHOLE.
Oh.
Somebody named their kid that and then got mad when the teacher mispronounced it.
Come on, that's got to be an urban legend.
No, it's true. It's true. I've looked into that one.
I have.
As unbelievable as it seems, it's true.
I met a kid named Lemon Jello, but he pronounced it Lemangelo.
Lemangelo.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, moving along. True story.
Wow.
Had a brother named Orangelo, too. And a sister named Aquanetta.
Aquanetta?
That's all
okay. All right. So Ken says in that game we would have to pay. There would be a pay the Exorcist card of $4,000. For what? They're not going to do anything.
So is like the finish line. You've had a successful broadcast.
Congratulations, you've made it to the end of a 2-hour paranormal portal.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like Jumanji on crack. Yeah.
Pick up those dice and roll.
Oh my God. We'll have leaping yowies and pet koalas from Australia and all kinds of fun. But the show must go on, ladies and gentlemen, because it's what the show does. And so, in keeping in that spirit.
Yes.
So this is, what is this? Mysterious Night at Gravity Hill from thoughtco.com. This happened in Los Angeles, California in 2007. 3 of my friends and I decided to do something unforgettable for once and not stay home. Good for you.
Put down the video game controllers.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa. Watch a movie or to go out to a fun place like we always do. Oh, I guess that wasn't... What? Something unforgettable for once and not stay home, watch a movie, or go to a fun place like we always do. That was a weird first sentence, but anyway. So my friend Nancy mentioned that we should all go to Gravity Hill. Let me just say that the time was 2:30 a.m. Good time to decide to go to Gravity Hill Cemetery, I'm sure. And without hesitation, we all agreed. As we drove there, we were all very excited because we had heard so many stories about this place, but as soon as we got there, we got to the turn point, I got a very uneasy feeling, and so did the other girls. It was 4 of us in the car. Then, after thinking about it for a few minutes, we looked at each other and said, why not? We're already here, right? Might as well make the best of it. So we drove for a while to get up there. I thought it was about a mile up the pitch black hill, but it turned out to be like 5. And we were so scared that none of my friends and I said a word the entire ride. Upon arrival to this mysterious place, first thing you see is the cemetery and a big white building. It almost looks like there's an insane asylum in the middle of the graveyard. I swear to this day that I saw someone or something walk across the cemetery in front of us. Sort of like a shadow or figure, sorry. Excuse me. I looked at my phone to see what time it was. It was around 3:15 a.m., or it was 3:15 a.m. And to make matters worse, there was no reception in all 4 cell phones, and we all have different phone company plans. So we stopped right there, right next to the cemetery, turned off the car, but we left it in neutral, and waited in the pitch black. Within 5 minutes of sitting and looking around, the car started to move uphill by itself. We looked at each other in disbelief. We got so scared. I kept my eyes looking straight ahead because I was afraid to look outside the window, thinking I might see someone next to me. My friend Nancy, who was driving, panicked and decided that this was it and wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. Let me just mention that we were in her new car that she and her husband had just bought a week before. So these are not teenagers. These are like grown women. Wow. That's awesome. As she turned the car around, I thought this was going to be like a high school story, but no, this is like adults. As she turned the car around to get out of the place, we drove slowly to see if we noticed anything lingering around, trying to be brave. And as we passed the cemetery, she tried to speed out, but the car would not go more than 20 miles per hour. Remember, this is a brand new car, so this kind of thing should not happen. We were terrified, and she was freaking out, as were the others. She had her foot all the way into the pedal, but the car wouldn't budge. Our bodies felt heavy, almost like gravity was pulling us back, but we were far from the mystery point where the car moved on its own. I started to pray in silence because I couldn't stand the heaviness of my body and the fact that we were going nowhere at that speed. Believe it or not, the car did not go any further than 20 miles per hour for about a mile. We were all worried that the car would just turn off and we would be stranded in the middle of a pitch black hill with no phone signal. Little by little, the car started to speed faster, and once we hit the last turn to get out of the hills, my friend Kathy, who was sitting behind me, said that as we passed the last turn, she saw a figure standing next to a tree. So she closed her eyes and started to pray until we got out of the hill. Our other friend just closed her eyes and fell asleep. She was a little drunk. We finally got home and decided that next time we go to this place, we will take a camera to see what we capture. Good idea. And none of the other stories, of course, work on that link because
it's ThoughtCo.
It's ThoughtCo. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Let's see what this is. I don't know. Oh, psychic pet stories.
Psychic pets, huh?
That sounds lovely. Let's see. Okay, yeah, these are actually a whole string of stories. So
nice,
and they're nice and short.
Oh, nice.
Right. How's things in the chat room, Don?
Things are good. Charlie said something about a road in western Massachusetts. He thinks it's called Rucka-Dundee Road. Is a haunted road, and I think you're right, Charlie. I was looking that up, but Pixie, I think, is looking it up. So we'll let her make that decision. But wow, I think we should take a quick break.
All right. What?
We just need to fix a couple things here in the studio.
Okay, just a second, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be right back. I will try to pull up.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You are not dismissed. This is only a drill. If the episode were...
Hurry, because it's going.
Okay, hold on.
We'll be right back.
Oh. All right, hold on. Damn it.
Transition.
You can get up there and dance. I'm looking for... I'll just play Feline for now. All right, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away. you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he's back.
We tend to be a little ghetto here on the set, but we make it work. Or we try to make it work. But I think we usually do, don't you?
Yeah, usually, and usually it works. Unless something paranormal pops up.
The Paranormal Portal. The portal sucked itself off the screen. That was what happened. Mm-hmm. So we got that going for us. Never a dull moment, ladies and gentlemen, and we're at the 2-hour mark. So
2 hours already?
Yes, sir.
That hour and 5 minutes went away really quick.
It did.
Nice.
That's the way we roll, Don.
No, that's the way.
That's how we roll, know what I'm saying?
That's how we rose up in the portals.
Well, I hope you guys are enjoying it so far tonight. I hope you're having a good time and a few laughs, and I hope you're, I don't know. I hope you're happy. I hope you're all happy. I don't know what's going on lately, but there's so much anger in the world. So many people are so supercharged right now. Oof.
And about silly things.
Oh, not always. I mean, some of it's people are really scared is what I'm thinking it is.
That's true.
People are really scared. And I understand. I understand that you want to avoid bad situations, or you want things to just be happy, peaceful. I mean, most people don't need a lot in life. They just want to be happy. And with all the crap going on right now, nobody's really sure if that's even possible.
Yeah.
And I understand and I get it, but I can tell you just my 2 cents, but it's kind of one of those things that if you want the world to be happy, you got to start being happy.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's not like the world is going to ever make you happy. You have to make yourself happy, and that will help other people, to lighten up.
Well, it'll also free yourself, your all that energy you've been using to be able to help other people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think, we as human beings, we learn by example. We learn by watching and seeing things done. And that's why things like, and no offense to any religion, whatever you happen to believe, but that's part of why I think things like Jehovah's Witnesses and, whoever else that does the door knocking thing, that's why it's such a hard thing, is because people are already carrying the weight of their world, and then they come to their own home where it's like their space. It's their sacred space.
The invasion.
And then someone knocks on the door and tells them how wrong you are about your life, about your religion, your faith, your whatever, and so, I mean, with all of what's going on in the media, that seems to be kind of like, the news version of that is, look at how screwed up everything is. Look at how screwed up it is now. You guys should be afraid. You should be more afraid than you are. You should be more afraid because of this and then this and why aren't you more afraid? And this world by fear and reflex kind of reactions based on that fear, it's just snowballing, and people just are losing themselves, I think.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, I can feel it in the air, and it's really bugging me because I just feel how supercharged things are right now. And I'll go into some examples of that on Friday or Saturday show. I don't know when, if I remember, but some things I've been seeing lately, and how I think that relates to the paranormal as well.
Right.
Basically, in a nutshell, maybe I'll just go into it now. I mean, it's no surprise to people that are enthusiastic about the paranormal that the Vatican has said it's training more exorcists than ever before, because of this huge upswing of what appears to be demonic possessions and things going on like that. Excuse me. And, there's so many more paranormal investigators out there because there seems to be more paranormal phenomenon, and maybe it's just more reported than ever before, and then that's why. But I think that these things are directly correlating to the emotional charge of our atmosphere. And they, of course, darkness will attract the dark things, and light will repel them. And that's why I think it's more important now than ever to radiate positivity into the world and to be, I don't know, it sounds really cornbally and silly, but to be to be beacons, so to speak, of good energy, because there's so much negative energy out there right now, and it's no wonder things are kind of going conky for people, and people are experiencing more negative hauntings than ever before, and because this atmosphere is just being supercharged by everyone, and by the media and by the politicians and by the the reactionary this and that. And I think there's a direct relation that it's all correlating because of this world is in a nearly a state of crisis, not because it's suddenly going to end, but because people are being pushed, to frantic paces and to, by frantic ideologies and frantic worries. And I don't think anything good can come from people trying to mold a future based on fear, So just my 2 cents, and I don't know what it's worth, and I don't know what it is, but, as an example, one of our listeners, and I think she's possibly listening now, she had a thread on her page talking about something political, and some guy that was on the whole other end of the spectrum just started attacking her. And it wasn't even to have a dialogue. It was just to show her how wrong she was and how she, it was just a personal attack after personal attack and after personal attack. And this listener really handled it well. She really handled it very gracefully and very eloquently, and really outlined her thinking and her thoughts and how she got to the place she was to have her position on it. And the other person was just all about, oh, it's people like you that are wrecking the world. And it was just angry and so supercharged and so negative. And I was like, my God, how would this person, I mean, it wasn't even his page, right? So he jumped onto her thread with just nothing short of like an abuse. It was just attack after attack about how absolutely screwed up her ideology and politics were, and how screwed up her thoughts like hers were making the world, and how everything was going to hell. And, it was just horrible. And the way that she handled it should have inspired at least a discussion, but the guy wasn't having any part of that. And that's what made me go, my God, why are people this wound up? And it's because they're being forced to it by, subscribing to ideologies. It's like not nobody, but it's like there's whole groups of people that aren't forming their own opinion based on what they're learning. They're forming an opinion based on what somebody tells them it should be, and that's horrible. It's just horrible. So, I'm not going to name the listener. It's not up to me to call them out and, tell their story, but it's just something I observed and something that really sat sideways with me. And it's like, my God, if you have a viewpoint, that's fine. And I respect everybody's right to have whatever viewpoint they choose to have, but to dismiss another viewpoint just based on the fact that it doesn't align with your own is absolutely never going to be helpful. It's never going to create a dialogue. It's never going to create a discussion or an understanding. You're certainly not going to win people over to it by telling them how screwed up they are. It's just unbelievable. And all it does is make people dig their heels in deeper and go, no, and this is why, and no, and this is why. So just my 2 cents, but just that's why at the end of every episode of the Paranormal Portal, I always say, be nice, be kind, be good to each other, remember the good things. Remember, even in all this darkness that seems to be going on now, this is an important time, and we really have to stick to the goodness and the light and to reinforce the positives, because we are in a state of metamorphosis and change. And unfortunately, it seems there's a whole group of people that are determined to create all of this negativity that it just reshapes itself rather than reshaping something new. So, again, my 2 cents. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sit on the soapbox. Is the chat room going, what the hell is he doing?
No, they're talking about the Trailer Park Boys board game.
Well, I'm glad that we're doing a show here.
I had to look it up. TPB. I didn't know it was I didn't know they had a board game. So.
Oh, well, you gotta love them. They are just a wonderful group. I love them all dearly. I really do.
Oh, boy.
They make me laugh and smile and chuckle and all kinds of good things.
It had something to do, you said the word conky. I don't know.
Making the world go conky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that triggered something, and the Pixie, and Pixie said something to Ken, and all of a sudden we're talking about the Trailer Park Boys board game. I don't know.
Sam Squatch.
Sam
Sam Squanch.
Sam Squatch. What's Sam Squatch?
It's a Sam Squanch. Yeah. What's that guy's name? Bubbles or something like that?
I don't know.
You've never seen Trailer Park Boys?
I've seen them, but I've never. Nah.
That show's hilarious.
No, I never got into it.
You didn't?
No.
Oh my God! It's just awesome. It's really well done. Now that we're talking about Trailer Park Boys here on the Paranormal Portal, but Don, how long did you want to go, brother?
You know what? Well, I don't know. What time is it? It's 10 after 9.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go for another 20 minutes, make it 9:30 even, and then.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm good. I'm good to go another 3 hours. Hell, I'm fine, but I know that you can't, and I don't want to push you into unhappy places.
I can do anything I darn well please.
I can do anything.
Damn, you're 50 years
Hey,
old.
guys.
Thank you, Cartman.
You're welcome. Yeah, we're going to go about 20 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen, so you have 20 more minutes to be amused and...
Odd.
Huh?
Odd. A-W-E. Odd. In awe of.
Oh, odd.
In
Okay.
awe.
It sounded like you were saying O-D.
I'm from Seattle. Okay, you know what? People ask me all the time. I hear this all the time. Where's your accent from? I'm
Really?
like, I don't have an accent. Maybe a Seattle slur,
Yeah.
but not an accent. I don't have an accent.
I guess it counts.
You guys are weird.
It counts. Your Seattle slur counts.
Whatever.
Hey, either you could have been here or made a rock band. One of the two things.
Yes. Right. No, rock band was not in my future.
Well, you know. Well, I'm going to get into psychic pet stories.
Oh, yes, please.
So, do animals have the more finely tuned sixth sense than humans? That's the question they ask, and I would say yes, they do. But continuing on, this question was raised in our article, Are pets psychic or super sensitive? Or just super sensitive, which is probably the same thing. Several readers who are also pet owners answered the question with their amazing personal experiences. The first one is the cats that understood. I truly believe pets are psychic and super sensitive, although perhaps not all of them. Only a select few are given the gift, the same as humans. And okay, I got to stop there because I don't think that psychic anything is just a gift given to certain people and not to others. I think everybody has it, but there's a question of how much of awareness they're born with versus how much they can develop or are willing to develop. Right. But everybody has the ability. It's just not many people will exert the effort to develop it. So continuing on, I have a friend who had a gold-colored female cat. We were standing in the bathroom talking, and the cat was there too. I happened to mention a recent story I heard from another lady friend about her cat, that her cat always drank from the bathtub's dripping faucet. Up until then, my friend never saw her kitty drink from anything other than her own bowl. The next day, her cat was found in the tub drinking from the faucet. On another occasion, I was kitty sitting. It was winter, and I keep my house's interior doors shut to retain heat, so I do not heat unused rooms. The kitty, Fluffy, wandered out into the hallway, so I tried to let her out. But then she hesitated. She didn't know which way to go, in or out, and I said, Fluffy, you need to decide. Wait, this sounds familiar, doesn't it?
No.
It does to me. Okay. Do you want to come back in? She turned to look at me and shook her head no. With that, she turned and walked away. This third story involves Fluffy's offspring, a male named Lance, that looked just like her. I was talking to my lady friend on the phone, and she mentioned that tomorrow I will take Lance to the vet and have him fixed. The next day, Lance disappeared and has not been seen since. I told my friend that Lance probably heard us and realized that this line of kitty needed to carry on, so he moved on. I'm sure I've read this stuff before, but I think it was on the show. You think I should continue reading these anyway?
Sure, why not? I don't remember them.
Well, that's because you're usually like me. You're taking care of something for the show, and I oftentimes can't even listen to you do stories because I'm looking into something else. So,
sorry, real quick, Doc. They're called bidets.
So that's what we're talking about in the chat room now?
No, actually, Gilbert's Paranormal was wondering if his goldfish was psychic.
Oh, okay.
Is his name Pink Floyd by any chance?
What?
You've heard that story that Pink and Floyd were two goldfish. We know it's not true, but
Right. No.
we're two goldfish in a bowl, sitting in a fish bowl,
Oh yeah,
year after year.
Actually, the name Pink Floyd comes from Pink Anderson and Floyd Council,
Yep.
who were two blues musicians of the old blues days. So, anyway, but that's as I understand it. Anyway, I don't know. I don't want to just repeat stories if I've already read these. That's frustrating. I was looking forward to that. Prayers to honor a deceased pet cat. I'm still looking for something else here. Do you have anything, Don?
Sure. Yeah, actually, I do.
Okay, please go ahead.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Okay, this one looks good. Okay. Here we go. Route 2A, Haynesville, Maine. This is back to haunted roadways.
Oh, okay.
Route 2A, Haynesville, Maine.
Okay.
This length of rural route running through the woods in Haynesville has been responsible for a number of real-life horrors, including the untimely deaths of many truckers who got into accidents along the icy patches of the street during treacherous winter months.
Mm-hmm.
Closed in on both sides by thick forest, the road cuts a path as intimidating as frightening. Still, most of the spirits associated with the roast don't belong to truck drivers. In fact, one of Route 2A's most common sightings is the ghost of a small girl wandering down the lane looking lost and confused.
That's sad.
Some locals have said that the ghost is of a 10-year-old girl who died along the road after being hit by a semi-truck. This story is apparently based in some truth, as two girls were reported dead in a truck accident along the road in August of 1967. The road's other most famous apparition is that of a young woman who allegedly asked passing drivers for help, saying she and her new husband were involved in a car accident. Legend has it, those who have stopped to offer her a hand have felt an overpowering chill before watching the woman disappear into thin air.
Ooh.
So that goes back to those, mysterious hitchhiker type stories we've gone to. Yeah, That's cool.
I hear someone coming.
I do also.
Who could be coming up here? Who could be coming up?
Who's that?
Come here, buddy.
Come on.
You want to come here?
Come on. And the minion has arrived.
Hey, come here. Want up? Yeah, you want up? Okay. Look at. Wow. Look at you. You're on camera. You're on camera. Someone's not sleeping yet, huh? My goodness. Want to say hi?
Say hi, everyone.
Say hello. Hello. Can you do it? You're pushing it away.
Lewis says, cute minion. Sarah's laughing, and Pixie says hi. Pixie says hi.
Can you say hi?
Pixie says
Can
hi.
you say hi?
Say hi. Wave at the camera. Wave. Brent Jr., yes.
He's like, take it, Dad.
Apparently he doesn't
Like
want to be a radio personality.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's got to get a little more vocabulary first.
Mini Brent.
This is my little minion. This is the one you hear so much about. When he's squeaking in the distance and driving his mom crazy. Right?
Sound.
You want sound?
Yeah.
I don't think you can hear it, though. You don't have headphones on. I don't. Can you hear?
Put your headphones on. Put your headphones on. Put the headphones on.
Is that Uncle Don trying to give you headphones?
Come on. Okay, don't.
He's like, hey, dude.
I'm
Hey,
okay.
dude. He's got space issues.
What?
Hello. What time we got, Don?
We got
9:18.
9:18 is what I see.
Okay. What you doing there, champ?
Hello.
Good job.
There you go.
Woo.
Say hi, everyone.
Can you say hello, everyone?
Say hello.
Oh, out there.
On out there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Momo's right there.
You are so beautiful. Take it away, Don.
Doc, that's not a rat tail. That's a Padawan tail. He's a Padawan.
He's my little Jedi in training.
Oh, goodness. Well, you know what? Yeah,
Hello, everyone.
Hello, world. How are ya? Hello, world.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, anything can happen on the portal. We're currently being visited by a little entity. All right there. Okay, minion.
I get down.
Okay, getting down? Okay, watch out for the cord.
There you go.
There you go. He's going to go under the desk. So, all right. There we have it. No, we're not doing that one. That's the no, honey. Sorry. I guess you guys get to see me be a parent as part of the show.
That's apparent.
It's apparently so. Yeah, you just never know what's going to turn up here in the portal. There you go. Just tuck under there, and we'll talk after the show.
Sit on
in about 10 minutes.
Your little fur rug there.
Yeah, I got a fur.
On your warm little feeties.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where my feeties go when they're cold. On my fur rug underneath the portal desk. All right, what do we got here? Anything quick and painless? I guess I can read another haunted pet story because it's quick and probably nobody's paying attention anyway. I wish there was more. Old mortuary ghost. That might be cool. Some of these are so long, though, but paranormal haunted railroad. See, this one keeps coming up, too. Oy, this site. I'm all verklempt.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Coffee time.
Get to know your neighbor time on Paranormal Portal. In the chat room.
Well, here, do you want? I got a couple more
please,
routes.
Please do.
Read. Yeah, okay.
Please
so
do.
we've got Archer Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. It says running from northeast to southwest on Chicago's southwest side, Archer Avenue passes by woods, cemeteries, and old churches. Basically, all the standard filming locations for any horror movie. So consider one of the most haunted areas in Chicago, a city with its own long history of strange occurrences. The 7.2 mile of Illinois Route 171 between Resurrection Cemetery and the St. James Sag Church is reportedly riddled with paranormal activity and unexplained phenomena. Winding through the forest and passing by a number of eerie lakes and cemeteries on the city's southwest side, the topography of the area is enough to cause chills during daytime, but at night the road's environment is even creepier. Supernatural sightings along the stretch include phantom horses crossing the road, ghostly monks haunting the grounds of St. James Sag, and the Gray Baby, alternately described as a rabid man or a werewolf who reportedly lurks around the woods and horse trails near Sacred Heart Cemetery. The area's most frequently cited spectral visitor, however, is called Resurrection Mary, described as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed hitchhiker in a white party dress. The apparition has allegedly tried to bum rides out of the cemetery from several motorists over the years, only to disappear after getting in the car. So, that's cool.
That's cool.
The Archer Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. And then there's this other place called Shades of Death Road in Warren County, New Jersey. Shades of Death Road. It says Shades of Death Road, the real name, can be famously foggy, lending to strange sights. It says here, it seems the only thing the Garden State has more of than disgruntled drivers is ghoulish streets. The 7-mile stretch of wooded road, which runs along the state's Jenny Jump State Forest. Why is it called Jenny Jump? Jump, Jenny, jump. Is another hotbed of suspected paranormal activity. Periodically blanketed by unnaturally thick fog, which rises off nearby Ghost Lake. Is this one a setup? I mean, Ghost Lake, Jump Jenny, Forest.
It could be.
Some have claimed that they've spotted spirits walking out through the mist. Rumors about the origin of the road's morbid yet official name have swirled for decades, with some of the most enduring finding root in the real-life reports of a spat of murders perpetrated in the surrounding woods, lynchings in the trees there, and a large death toll the area suffered during a malaria outbreak in the 1850s.
Wow.
Whatever the explanation for the moniker, though, it will likely still fail to explain the mystery of the roads. Is that Lenape Lane, a mile-long, unpaved, dead-end offshoot from which one can reportedly glimpse a strange white burning. Rumor has it, if it turns red while you watch it, you may find yourself meeting an untimely end.
Ooh.
Wow. So.
Ooh. You're cruising for a mute. I think that's about it. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. So. We got 5 minutes to wrap up. We can usually eat that in seconds, though. So.
So what are you thankful for, Don?
I'm thankful for my buddy over here.
I'm thankful for you too, and I'm thankful for all of you out there listening, and for all that you've done to help make this show so incredible and so much fun. And you guys are definitely the third person on the show. All of you. It's just been amazing, and
all three of you.
Is there 3 in there now?
No, we still have. Actually, we haven't lost anybody. I don't think.
Yay! You guys are sticking with us.
Absolutely.
You really do love us. Oh, we love you too.
No.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, but we will be back. The Paranormal Portal will be back, of course, on tfrlive.com on Friday night. And Saturday night, of course, when Don will rejoin me.
Yep.
We'll be doing more of this fun and and whatever else it is. Depends on the night. Sometimes it's fun and exciting. Sometimes it's fun and frustrating. Sometimes it's fun and confusing. But
confusing falls right in there. That would be my explanation of it.
Yeah, like tonight, the Paranormal Portal screen decided to peel itself, so that's always a fun deal. But it's the portal, ladies and gentlemen. You just never know what's going to happen.
And welcome to it.
And welcome to it. And you're welcome to it. And you're welcome to share these videos, too, and spread the love and show everybody why you listen. And maybe
you need to explain why you listen and why they should. But, yeah, absolutely.
It might require a little bit of quantification after that. But, it's just been awesome. And I hope y'all are gearing up for the holidays and whatever it is you happen to believe or celebrate.
Oh no, we have a. What are those like? Bradgelina, where they take names.
No, we don't have one.
Somebody's trying to.
No, don't do one. Don't do that. No. We're not married. I love Don dearly, but he's not my type.
He's a frenemy. It's Doc. Doc's doing it. Stop it, Doc.
Doc,
you're cruising there, buddy. We're gonna. Hey, I can mute you in TFR. By the way, I can finally do something to somebody.
There you go. So, I hope you guys are doing great, and thanks again for listening.
Stop it, Sarah.
What?
Okay, you're cut off.
I hope everything is great in your world, and thanks for being a part of ours. Thanks for everything. You guys have made this show amazing, and do what you can to make it bigger. We'll be here rooting for you to root for us, so we can root for each other. And if you develop a Paranormal Portal board game or any other licensed merchandise, please let us know, and we'll discuss future licensing endeavors. So anyway, I would love to see that.
We got to get ours.
Well, it's really cool. It's what's fun is that people are thinking of stuff because of the show. I mean, that's just humbling as hell. So
absolutely. Yep.
We love y'all. I'm gonna play you a song. I'm not sure which one yet. Could be one I've already played. Which one should I play then?
Well, I was going to say Emotional Buffet, but Regula's not here, so it wouldn't have the same impact.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm not even sure where it is. Oh, yeah. I'll play it anyway. What the hell?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it's here somewhere. There it is.
There it is. Emotional Buffet for our outro tonight.
I better turn up the music. All right, you guys. Love y'all. Be good. Be kind. We'll see you Friday night.
Thank you. See ya. Bye.
Wave to the camera, Don. saw it here, ladies and gentlemen. It's always paranormal.